I am the survivor of what our world would say is a failed abortion. I'm alive today because an abortion attempt in 1977 failed to end my life. That day I was meant to be delivered as a quote-unquote successful abortion, otherwise known as a deceased child. That is now the day that I celebrate as my birthday. The day that I was accidentally born alive. I didn't know my story, though, until I was 14 years old. And that day changed my life forever. When I first found out my story at the age of 14, I felt incredibly alone. Over time, I found out that there was one other abortion survivor, and that was Gianna Jessen, and that changed my life. Fast forward over a decade, and I was actually speaking at the March for Life in Canada at the time. And I'll never forget, this young man approached me after the march, and he kind of whispered to me. He said, "I'm one of you." I will never forget where we were standing when that conversation occurred. I will never forget him. That really opened my eyes to the fact that not only was I not alone, but people like me are everywhere. We know through statistics from the CDC that they were identifying 400 to 500 live births a year after failed abortions. If we do the math, that becomes 17,855 survivors. I'm on this mission to find those 17,855 other abortion survivors, to heal them, empower them, equip them to find and use their voice. And at the same time, finding and serving those 17,855 families who have been impacted by a failed abortion. Through the Abortion Survivors Network, we've connected with 403 other abortion survivors from 18 different countries, and they range in age from infants to 89 years old. The overarching goal is we want the world to recognize that every human being is more than a choice. And so in 2012, we became an organization and really started to put out survivor stories, even if it was anonymously, and kind of becoming that first place that was really starting to put that messaging out about failed abortions and survivors. I really kept looking around and saying, why hasn't anybody done something about this? And then I realized in 2019, it's been me all along. And so that's when we became a nonprofit. In the middle of the pandemic in 2020, we started offering community groups that brought in survivors from all around the world. We've healed, we've empowered them with relationships that further that healing, and then we've equipped them by training them to be public speakers, giving them coaching, helping them understand what it's like to advocate and be involved in the pro-life movement. And then we've given them a platform that's safe and credible to then use their voices. I'm so blessed to be alive. I'm so blessed to be a wife and a mother. I'm blessed to be a leader in the pro-life movement. But I can tell you my greatest blessing comes in knowing my fellow community of abortion survivors and creating a place for them in our culture where they're healed, empowered, and equipped, where we're raising their voices for the first time in over 49 years of legalized abortion. Every single survivor's voice is powerful. But the voices of survivors together, that's what changes our world, politically and in families and in individual lives. I know that as we raise their voices, we're not only going to change their lives and we're changing families, but we're going to change our culture.